So I am one of 3 hosts today, so we are 3 people on stage for some part of the day and many presenters as well. So my name is Moree. I work as an industry principal for OSIsoft. I've been doing that for almost 4 years now. I have 20 years experience from the industry, primarily in the data science, data analytics area. And I think I've met with most of you in this room before, so I'm happy that we have so many faces here. And I will hand over the mic to Bryan.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Bryan Pope. I'm a technical advisor for OSIsoft and also the Life Sciences Industry Champion, which is a role I just started last fall. But I've been with OSI in a variety of technical roles for about 8 years now. And I do most of my work with pharma and life sciences customers, a lot on the pre-sales side, so I work with potential and new customers to help design architectures, proof of concept projects, and just help them get the most out of their PI system.
Good morning, everyone. I hope they had a good dinner last night. My name is Tim Alessi, and I work for Biogen, and I'm serving on the Life Science Users Group Steering Committee, and hope you have a very productive day today.
Thank you. So this day we have a smash program, as I said, and we will have presentations from Merck and BMS and Lilly and Pfizer and so on and so forth. And at the end of the day, we have what we call the Life Sciences PI user group, which is a user group which Tim is chairing, and he will talk more about the details about that. But that starts at 4:45 today, and then we have some sessions for that and breakouts. And at the end, we also have a dinner later tonight. So we'll come back to the program and agenda several more times during the day. So what is going on in the industry? What is happening in the life sciences industry? Just to put some context to what I see talking to so many of our customers and prospects these days. I think the pharmaceutical industry is going through some very strong evolution, maybe a revolution these days. And data has become more central than ever and more important than ever. And I think that when I see our customers and prospects, they start to look into data with different eyes. And so many different new people and departments and organizations within the life sciences community start to consume and use data for many different purposes. And there are many different initiatives going on in the industry among various type of working groups like ISP and NAMUR and others that are starting to understand how can we make these things seamless and easier and faster. And they define various type of guidances and initiatives, and I think many of you are quite familiar with all these type of abbreviations. We have a lot of abbreviations in the industry, and I don't think we need to like Paul Jeffers said yesterday, we don't need to explain them that carefully in this room, because I would assume many of you know them. But one of the key elements, what I consider is critical in the industry, and what we have been working on for so long time, is about the data integrity. And in other industries, they talk about data quality. And I think the data integrity, can we really trust the data? Can we use the data? And I think that is the key thing here, to be able to share and use the data. And as referring back to Pat Kennedy in his keynote yesterday morning, data has an increased value the more people that are looking and consuming that data. And that is exactly what I think is happening also in the life sciences community these days. In the past, data was primarily used to release and verify that the batches and the products that have been produced according to the specification and to meet the various type of compliance. Now we see data is really driving the business. Data is helping in reducing time to market and time to clinics. Data is helping us to increase the throughput and productivity, and also to reduce cost and increase availability, and so on. And one of the key elements to this is about the data integrity, the data trustworthiness. And of course, we see a lot of things in implementing various type of risk-based approaches. And I also just learned yesterday by one of the steering members of the Life Sciences PI user group committee that it seems that the FDA and others are changing the computer system validation approach, so it will become more risk-based and risk focused in doing some computer system accreditation or assurance compared to what has been in the past. And I think that is exactly the right way forward. Because data is then forming and helping the industry to become much more data-centric. And this is one of the things that the Life Sciences Group, ISPE, and a subcommittee called Pharma 4.0 and Plug and Produce Committee is working on. And we have seen these examples for so many years by so many of our customers of using the PI system. And they really bring in all the data and to put context and metadata around that and to provide, in some cases, analytics to share this information. And there are many different aspects to that, but we really see the value. And during the day, we will hear many of the use cases sharing their experiences and examples on how they are using data in a more comprehensive and more value-based way. So the data-centric organization, I think, is the key, not only to the industry in general, but particularly to the life sciences industry. And it must be user-driven. It must focus on the people and the teams and the organization and the systems that are consuming that data. And we need to structure the data, and what we try to promote, what we will hear more about today, is the usage of asset framework and event frames, meaning that we have the ability to build the process maps in process models where we are able to follow the process and the batches and the material that we are producing, but also how we can have better understanding about the recipes and assets and tools and equipments that we are using to make sure that the systems is reliable and working and you have a high uptime. So we will hear more about these things throughout the day. But before we continue with Tim here, we will have the announcement of this user group meeting. Starts at 4:45 also in this room. We will have a panel discussion, and we will have, you see in the back of the room, we have 5 monitors, and we will have action happening around those monitors. More about that later. Then we have the industry dinner at 7:30 tonight. And for those of you who have registered, we have shared an RSVP link. If you have not answered that, or if you have not received that, please write an email to the community@osisoft.com or come to me directly, and I will see if I can make a seat by the table for you, because we would very much appreciate your presence and your ability to network and interact with the life sciences community. Also, I would like to take the opportunity also to promote our sponsors and exhibitors in the 2 different exhibiting rooms, the Golden Gate and Yosemite. And we have many of our very valuable partners, both the system integrators, which we are relying heavily on, but also on the analytics and data provider partners that are using and consuming the data generated by the PI system. And we have some actions going on also tomorrow. There are more information, and you can sign up for labs, and you can go to the network and get more information about these things. So with that, I would hand over the microphone to the chair of the Life Sciences PI User Group, Tim Alessi.
Good morning. So a year ago, if you were here, we were probably somewhere around 400 people in the Life Sciences Group, 400 to 450 in the Life Sciences Group on Pi Square. And as you can see, we've had a lot of great interest over the last year. We're up over 630 users. If you haven't joined the group, please do that. Broad range of diverse companies, over 195 companies from all around the world. So the group is fairly active. There's a lot of questions that get posted and whatnot. And if you enjoy the program today and you would like to participate in some way, we have always have a opening for you. We do try to do webinars and stuff like that in between Pi Worlds, and we'd love to hear from you and have you participate. So this afternoon, what we've done is we've put together what I think is a pretty good and dynamic program. We're going to have a roundtable where we are bringing up 5 people from industry experts in Pi, and they will be able to, we will have questions. So we posted some stuff on Pi Square. In a moment, I'm going to tell you about an app, a website that you can go to and post your questions throughout the day. Not only just post your questions, but I will post a bunch of questions that we already have queued up, and you can also vote up and vote down questions, right? And that will help us guide the discussion today. After the panel, we are going to have some mini workshops. So we have about 30 to 35 minutes. We're going to try to get 2, so you should have 2 of the workshops that you can see. We have trending, critical operations with Pi, an update on RT reports, and some advanced event frames and whatnot. So we have these little sessions, and we'll talk about a little bit more of those this afternoon, and you'll be able to hopefully see 2 of those. Here's our panelists today. So we have Chris Beaupre, who is also giving a presentation today from NECI, Craig Taylor from BioMarin, Miles Sumlin from Genentech, Gus Green from Avexis, and Doug Hauser from Rutgers. And I think Doug is also giving a presentation today. So here's the website that you can go to. If you go to slido.com, there's just going to be a little field there. Put in the hashtag LSPUG. You'll be able to see some of the questions that are already there. And like I said, I'll add the rest of them here after the intro, and vote things up, vote things down. As you hear the presentations today, something pops to your mind, open it up, put a question on there, and we'll use that to drive the panel discussion this afternoon. Just in passing, here is the list of steering committee members, and I'd like to thank them for their hard work in pulling all of this together and keeping this users group active and moving forward. And I think we have Cassie here. Wave. There's Cassie. Anybody else from the steering committee here? Here we go. Bryan's there. So say hi to them. They give their time to help this become a very successful day for all of you.
Yeah, so I think Tim already mentioned this quite a bit, but yeah, please join us on Pi Square, the users group. It's a great active community, and we'd love to have all of you there, so please come and join us.